came to the throne 2004. Well, here actually.
So the palace symbolizes like heaven for the king, who they worship like a god, and then over here we have the snake handrail, which has 7 heads, which is reference to the 7 colors of the rainbow. So when the king is walking up to the palace, it's as if he's walking over the rainbow to heaven. So that's the king's residence, and he is in-house because the flag is up. So the king is in there at the moment. It's the traditional colors of Cambodia. So we wear a different one each day. Starting on Sunday, working our way to Saturday. It's for luck.
Inside the palace.
We saw a lot of these traditional houses in Siem Reap and in the countryside. So now there's a demo of it here in the palace. You can go inside to get an idea of what they actually look like on the inside. And they're raised up on stilts to help with flooding, and our guide in Siem Reap said they actually will spend time under there as well to shade from the sun and lots of wind breeze versus upstairs in the house. So inside the killing field here, this is where the truck would stop and they'd unload the people. And they'd write down their names before transporting them to the mass grave site. And they estimate there's over 17,000 people that were executed here at this specific site, coming from the S21 prison. And then that center there houses approximately 8,000 skulls of just some of the bodies from the people that were killed here. One of the craziest parts about this entire thing is that they didn't even use bullets to kill people because bullets were so valuable. They just used metal clubs essentially and just beat people to death. It's just unbelievable. So after the bodies were piled up in the mass grave, they used to use a chemical substance to put on top of them, which was basically to eliminate the stench and eliminate suspicion from people in the area that worked around here, but also to kill the people that were actually buried alive that weren't even dead yet. So the Khmer Rouge used the stick parts here of the tree to kill victims.
Even their own people who come from the countryside.
It's a mass grave. There were over 450 bodies found here. 9 meters deep, just full of bodies. So these are more of the mass graves, and there's pieces of clothing and teeth and different remains that still are out here, and they leave it here. And that's just a field of mass graves.
That's why they were executed by the head. Yeah. Right now we cannot find the victim's head. All the victim process.
Pretty unbelievable visit. It's just like so heavy. I mean, they have things like there's a tree where they would basically beat babies against the tree to kill them. Didn't matter if they came from a family that was educated, they would just kill everyone. Couldn't film that one, it was just too much, but it's just unbelievable to see. What they've done with the place now is nice. It's so peaceful, like a resting place for the victims. But it's incredible just how recent it is. I mean, even our guide's parents and uncle were a part of this and captured. I mean, it's just and tortured. It's unbelievable.
Our parents were in their 20s, so that just context of how recent that is. It's just, I feel like it gives so much information onto why things are the way they are.
We just finished at the Genocide Museum killing fields, and now we are spending some time at the Russian market. We're gonna do a bit of shopping, we're gonna grab a little bit of food, and then we're going to head to the S21 prison afterwards. It's kind of on the way, so it's a perfect stop for food and shopping. That is deluxe looking. And it has vegan tacos. That was a stop for lunch. We actually was a stop for the market, but we ended up going for lunch instead because we didn't have anywhere to eat, and it was really good.
Oh, so good.
It's called Vibe. And it's like vegan. It's a vegan restaurant right by the Russian market, and the food was amazing. It was incredible. I'm not usually one to eat vegan food. I do enjoy it when I do, but we don't search it out. But it was rated really well, and it's just down the street and highly recommended. So we just arrived at the S21 Prison Central area here. It's the Genocide Museum. And at one point this was a 600 meter by 400 meter sized prison, which now is just the central area that they're using for people to tour and learn about the history. So there's 4 compounds, 4 buildings in this whole set. There's building A, B, D, and C. And they all sort of house slightly different uses. Building B, D, and C are very similar in that they had large cell rooms, like a classroom, because this was an old school. They housed like 50 people in these large classrooms, and then they chunk off different areas and basically keep people in these tiny little cells and then shackle them to the ground and not allow them to move. And even if they moved, they would come and they would torture them, or they would kill them. Even to use the bathroom, they had to ask permission to use the bathroom. Our guide said that if they went on the floor, the guards would come in and would make them lick it up to clean it. Like, just horrific conditions. So building C is the one that they've left as the original style, so it's got covered in barbed wire. They originally didn't have barbed wire up, but they had to put it in because people were essentially just committing suicide and trying to leap from the top decks, the 3rd level, and fall to their death. So they covered them in barbed wire so that they could not jump, to keep them in. Building B now houses pictures of the events as they happened, and pictures of the victims before and after, as they were checked in or after they were tortured. This was a children's set where they had hung ropes and they climbed ropes when it was a school, but then they used it as a torture event device where they hung people from their arms, then dunked their heads until they confessed. The crazy part is that essentially all they were looking for was confessions of these people being educated or higher up or political or basically like a powerful position within the country, because they're trying to eliminate all the power and brains so that they could lead the country and there would be no one to challenge them. And so it's crazy that these cells were developed strictly to get that confession, because they would not kill someone without a confession. And once they had a confession, they would take them to the killing fields and kill them there. So building block A is a number of cells that was for the VIP people only. You can see that they basically closed off where there was gaps for, like above top here, they've got for air ventilation. They closed that off so that you couldn't hear anything, you couldn't speak to anyone, because these are for important people that they're scared that could basically get out and get some sort of power among the people to rise up, and so they house them individually. And the 14 people here were basically the final people to be found when this place was shut down, and they were all found dead in their cells. And so now there's 14 graves here, a memorial for them, and it's very in your face inside there. There's pictures from when they found them, when they first came in on the place, and it's quite gruesome.
So we're just finishing up at the prison here. I think as hard as it is to be here, you can't come to Cambodia without coming to see this. It's an important part of the history that's super, super recent. It is quite hard to watch. There's some very graphic images, a lot of images of the dead, so just be warned of that, especially if you're coming with kids. Just kind of keep an eye on what you want them to be exposed to prior to entering, but I think it's an extremely relevant, current, and important place to come.
Back from the tour now at our hotel. We're staying at the Sun and Moon Hotel, which is a new hotel in the area, and it's really nice. It's fairly inexpensive, but really nice, and we're going to hang out for the rest of the day. Probably a bit of a heavy day, so I think we're going to do a little bit of, I'll do some work, get up my nap, go for a workout, and then relax this evening. And tomorrow we have a full free day to do some more sightseeing and shopping, because we gotta buy some souvenirs. Got ourselves a khmer curry here, which is basically like a yellow, it's a red curry technically, but it looks yellow. Don't kid yourself, I'm not eating just a green mango salad. This is just my starter. And then we're getting into another curry. So we're gonna put some of this coconut milk on top. Katie wants to be really not minor about it. We're just going for it.
No, that's not what
Yummy!
Just our luck. Done dinner and
Down forward. We'll go to the right. Even better. Insert shower scene. Jokes. The mud's so bad on the back of your legs from the flip-flops and stuff that we have to go in the shower all the time right away to rinse the back of your legs off, because it's nasty and the shoes are just disgusting and black.
What's going on here?
But this is about the end of our night. We're going to call it a night, and tomorrow we're going to head into town again. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe up here. Check out our most recent other videos over here, or subscribe to our other channel over here.